Greetings. All right. And this, I guess it's like 20 minutes until tomorrow, but all right, greetings. All right. So we're going to Orion Wars, Politics of the Universe. Should be different. I'm not sure that's going to, hopefully, it's not going to be a bunch of politics that bores everyone to death. Reptilian super soldiers and Easter Island. And it might be more of the Orions going into all of this. But we'll see. It might switch over to Reptilian and Easter Island. I don't think I've done Easter Island actually sometime. So, anything else? Yeah, because it feels like they're eager to come through from gathering. So, of course, when we go into this is obvious, but when it shifts into a higher frequency, the dark can't hide itself anymore. That's the idea. So they do get desperate. They do have their people here. They have their, I don't know how you call it, their minions. They're incarnated here as human. Some might call them relatives. Some might call them friends or relationships. They're to sabotage people that are on this path of awakening. And if I've dealt with somebody that's like that, it is there to assassinate me, basically. Something like that. Yeah, it's like more something connected to the darker realms, though. It's common. It's out, like for example, it's like you're gonna like say like you're getting married or something, and then you have a friend out of nowhere tells you probably shouldn't get married or something. What the hell's going on with you? It's like, that's some kind of another entity came to that person. So it's just sometimes people aren't who they always, you have friends or people are in this reality that are not aware of all this. They can be easily compromised. Let's put it that way. So people that it just feels like I need to say something like that. That came out of nowhere. So yeah, it's basically as we go into awakening state, some people might not be what they, some people that you thought were okay, and then all of a sudden talking crazy, because the energies are shifting. So I feel like our government is showing its true self slowly. It's like the darkness is slowly. I mean, obviously, it's been there for a long time, but it feels like we're going into a time where it's going to get real. We haven't hit that just yet, but at least that's the vibe I'm getting at this moment. Just expecting government to really start to fall apart, show its true nasty colors and things like that, which we need to see more of it. But it's not going to war with anybody anymore, so you can't go to fight anybody. So it's like here to deteriorate. That's what I'm getting from that. So all right, so I'm not sure if any of that was helpful. Okay, we're going to Orion Wars, so we connect more with Orion beings, those that can help with this awakening. All right. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are the Orions. You can call me Nazareth. Your world, yes, goes through a lot of portal energies. Beings do appear here and then disappear. Obviously, you're not seeing that in your daily life, but it does happen where people, some of you actually experience it, where you see somebody, you look away, and then they're gone. So what we see is much of your world opening up more slowly into how all of this operates. How the operation, even those that are, you call your matrix people, some of them will start to realize what's happening here on their level that works for them. It's like, we thought the world was crazy, but now we're seeing. So your Orion war politics or yeah, beings are, as many of you incarnate here too, so you may be wondering why you are even here. Well, you're not here to put up with all the manipulation. You'd be surprised how simple it can be of why you came here to begin with. So you're just not putting up with all these manipulations. Obviously, things are not clearing out as fast as you'd like it to. But you're going to a phase of awakening. It's not going to clearly show itself just yet. But there will be times when you see an opening, yeah, especially like government projects underground or Illuminati on, yes, Colorado. Guess there's a deep energy there. Well, they're going to have their reckoning. Of course, a lot of them are in South Africa, South America, also New Brunswick. Basically, as many of you go into an awakening ability, yes, you'll be able to see all of these beings and how they operate, how they are hidden when they're no longer hidden. In some areas you might go to where you feel sick, that's where your elites are truly their hub, or one of their hubs. They have many. They actually have some of their hubs in the ocean. So your political leaders, well, as they call them, that are not really leaders. They're more like sellouts. Some of them are at least. Some of them are truly care about people, and most of them are just there doing what they're told. Some of them are drones under control, under hypnosis, and some of them will start to shape shift, and anything is possible. Basically, as your world becomes more alien internally. So many are waiting for alien ships to land and all that, but what about the alien within society itself, where it starts to show themselves within your society, such as politicians and anybody for that matter? When people are shape shifting a little bit more often than they normally would, where they can't keep their selves hidden any longer, this is what you're working towards. So yeah, alien disclosure might not always be what you think. When you see politicians yeah, we always want to use politicians because they are, yeah, it's part of the universal war that's going on here. Various reasons. It used to be more religious in the past. I mean, yes, there's some kings and queens. Of course, that's reptilian, of course. Of course, yes, any word of king or queen usually shows, just those words itself has a reptilian oligarchy around it. Doesn't mean that you can't have that term anywhere else, but when you have a world that's under control like this, you just look at where the royalty is. Of course, you see the royalty, and then you look a little bit further to who is controlling the royalty, such as your queen is a hard one to fully, well, Rothschild, yes, that's one of them. And it goes deeper than that, of course. Yeah, names are not going to be the clearest. These Illuminati beings, obviously, they listen even to some of these transmissions. Because they know, I mean, not that they're afraid or anything of that kind. What's to be afraid of? Especially when there are no rules for yourself. But it doesn't mean that society can't break. It means that not everything's going to go to what has been planned. Not everything's going to work as what was scheduled for, because there's always timeline schedules that you're all experiencing on different levels. We just feel like, yes, the true realness of your world is coming through, of how the inner workings of it. It's not going to happen once again quickly, but where society starts to break down in a way where it's like, the alien control here might not be as strong, the manipulation might not be as strong here anymore as it was, and you'll see that in certain areas. So we're kind of talking in like a cryptic way. We're not really going into full details. Of course not, we can't. We're just say the alien within your society, when events occur, It's like, is that the alien manipulation just breaking down? And sure enough, it is. So that's what we say to look for in your future. Yeah, yes. Once again, we can't fully explain it to all details. We're not here to do so. That's all we have at this time. I believe others will come back with more details in the future. Blessings too. Greetings to you. We are the Anunnaki. Greetings, the Reptilian super soldier. We had a lot of contributions to that. Anunnaki's social life is similar to humans. Yes, we have cakes, we have ice creams, maybe not like yours. We have food. We don't necessarily have, or we can eat things and not have to clear it out of our system as you do. Mm-hmm. It more like evaporates. Let's put it that way. And a lot of us are tall, as some of you have interactions with us. But the super soldier reptilian side, now you can say Anunnaki. Many of us were master geneticists, as some of you maybe not remember. Well, memories, because your world is shut down the way it is, obviously remembering things is not going to be the easiest. But if you want to remember and you truly push for it, you'd be surprised what will come through. What is necessary for this incarnation? So Anunnaki were involved with a lot of the reptilians you have here that are causing difficulty. So one of the reasons why you see Anunnaki connected to reptilian, well, some Anunnaki became reptilian. So they know how to engineer it and make it better. And to take over worlds like yours. Or whatever it means. Well, some Anunnaki had no choice. Just like what you see in the movies. Sometimes when Anunnaki worlds get taken over, we don't have any choice. We have to either do what we're told, or be destroyed. It's similar to like what you've seen. You've seen this on your world, actually. It's not pretty. Of course, you're not remembering these things, but galactic memories will start to come back over time, not instantly. But you're going to that age of little bits of your past coming back, because it's time. It's time for a great deal of awakening. Yes, on a soul scale, there will be a time when all memories not necessarily fully come back, but you get more of an understanding, because the Earth's timeline has to shift in a way where your memories can be triggered and be fully remembered. So that's what you're working towards. So like you're lining yourself up with the Earth. So that's happening now. So that's why people get downloads they get like little downloads here and there. It's like, okay, now I got nothing for the rest of the week. Of course, some people get kind of downloads all the time. It doesn't mean it has a whole lot of meaning to it. Some people add meaning to it, whatever it might be. But you're going to an alignment where you remember the amnesia is not so strong here anymore. For certain individuals, not everybody. Even one of these people that are, yes, in your matrix people, you can say, if they remember too much, sometimes it's be fun for them, and sometimes it'd be terrifying for them. Sometimes you have health problems. You'd be surprised, because they don't want to awaken. So they forget, like trauma, galactic trauma, why some people have cancer, why some people have certain ailments. They're not willing to remember. That's one of the reasons why people have these problems. They just don't want to think it's real. It's like, no, it's not real. It's not real. And it's another form of them to awaken. Is it why you died? Well, why you had that cancer? Because you didn't want to remember anything. It's like, well, because it's time for you to awaken. I know it sounds strange there, but it depends on the person. It's like they say they're going to awaken, they're going to do this, they're going to open, and then they change their minds. There's a lot of that happening. So super soldier energies here were basically elements from all, even actually universes that have been found and put into an element, put into a reptilian being or a human being for that matter. You see some of this in those are athletes here. Some of your giants had it also in your Earth's past. Some of your priests had it. Why some would live such a long life. So there's certain elements of it here. But the reptilian beings, obviously, there's many. I mean, a lot of reptilians sold themselves out, just like what you have with your racial issues here. Just like your own race is selling yourself out. Same thing with reptilian beings. Some, once again, don't always have a choice. So you're getting more of a choice. Basically, you're coming into a phase of more, yes, of knowing more about yourselves. You just haven't had that awakening just yet. But because it's heavy. The universe is heavy. Once you go in there, there's no going back. That's why it has not fully occurred here. When you see ships in the skies, you see galactic wars on a level that some of you can handle, but many cannot. There's still just a lot of dealing with karma, too. And that's another reason why some people have not had their awakening that they're looking for. They haven't cleared their karma as they could because they're not ready for it. Now, it's not necessarily karma for not clearing your karma. There's not something like that, but it can slow you down in your incarnation. So, it's like you're not always meant to clear out your, I mean, you can if you want to, but if you don't want to, you don't want to. Yeah, clearing out karma is one of the hardest things on, especially when you don't remember anything. Well, especially what you're clearing is not part of your daily conversation. Because some of you are connected to higher dimensions where it's hard to even describe what you've been through. Especially, it's the creation of worlds you've been involved with, but also the destruction of them. Remembering these things can be difficult, especially the higher dimensions. But even in higher dimensions, power has been abused greatly. And you see that here on your planet. I mean, even these different worlds, you have Saturn, you have Jupiter, you have Venus. Look at another reality when these are all just human energies, entities, or what they really look like. What is the form of a Jupiter being? What would that look like? Because on another reality, they're all kind of conversations with each other. They're not getting along with each other either. Well, at least not with this planet. Well, this planet tests a lot of other worlds, as some of you can feel. It really tests other planets. It really pushes them. It's just like anyone else that's difficult to be around. It tests everyone that's around them. So those that are testing your reality, such as Archon beings, and have them fully reveal themselves, such like you have a family member turn into an Archon being. How many are ready for that? And some do say insectoid. They don't always want to reveal what they look like, but they can. Yeah, you have family members shape-shifting some kind of creature being. And it's usually ones that are very difficult to deal with. That's what they're here to do. I mean, yes, something out of the Twilight Zone. But how false is that? It's very real. It's just humans don't want to see it. But you're going into that time of seeing these things physically, possibly, definitely through third eye connections. But physically, it's not too clear. But the element of the reptilian being brought here, many of them were taken hostage, many of them were programmed or abducted, you could say, and sent to your world. So this is all they know. Just like humans here, this is all you know. So those parts of the reptilians that are here and other alien beings, they don't remember their history either. So they're just as lost as you are. I mean, they know about your society, but they don't necessarily know about theirs. They have a version of it, but they don't know a full story of it. So there's under similar control in some different ways. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are the Easter Island entities, beings. You can say we brought too much information to your world, too much technology, too much awareness of other places. So we left. Now, some might disagree with our connections. Or so, yes, we are part of the Lemurian energies. Well, we saw the Lemurians and felt friendliness from them. And we incarnated onto your world. Basically, bring a different vibration to your earth. And you can say we were worshipped by humans at one time, but that is not what we wanted. Now, some of our species did become dark over time and enjoy the worshiping, but we were worshipped on many different levels. Then we had to leave altogether. That was more the darker side. The lighter side of the energy was just basically bringing new ideas, new DNA, shifting your vibration to a higher frequency. And from what we feel, we did too much. Of course, we're not seen here as it's always going to make completely sense, but we feel like we brought too much knowledge here and eventually it was used against you. We feel like some of it has to do with the manipulation you're going on here. Well, it's just that humans worshiping. What was the first church here? What was the first, where humans were worshiping alien beings? When was that born? You find the remnants of that. It's like, why is all of a sudden humans want to worship alien beings? You find the first of it because other beings took advantage of it on many different levels and weaponized it, obviously, and used it against your planet in a way where it shut it down. A lot of this, the alien beings, the alien beings that were being worshipped during that time, incarnated as human, as priests and others, individuals to connect you to the gods, at least their version of it. They got a high off of it. Of course, with the Jesus energy, of course, that was just to harness his energy and to manipulate him on many different levels. It's like they're using the popularity of Jesus to put a net over society. I believe that's already been known. And also the fear of the future, that humans are not worthy. Because as the Jesus energy was there to actually enhance people to know of your abilities. Like you can do the same thing. And many were doing the same thing, and then they were no longer around. So it's called religion. It's called Archon religion, if you really want to go into detail of it. Yeah, they tried everything they can to shut humans down, to just pull the energies from humans, and you're here to reverse that on so many different levels. Your ancient places, some of them, yes, as you start to remember your place there, you'll feel you're actually activating the knowledge there. You're activating the pyramids of Giza, pyramids of Mexico, even activating much of the energies of the Amazon. That is the direction to go into. And now some of you are already experiencing that to a certain extent. But it's like, what site am I connected to activate? Easter Island, yes, there's always going to be a mystery around our energies. And that's done intentionally. We could have been removed from your planet altogether, but they wanted to leave that to give you an idea of there's other. It's not always the human form that's around. Well, yes, we're quite different than humans, but once again, our knowledge, now we lacked a lot of emotion. So we came here to learn from you. And we brought the energies from the higher dimensions, which once again was used against your society. Even a lot of Anunnaki or other alien beings, a lot of Anunnaki cannot figure us out. We're not supposed to be figured out. There's always going to be alien beings that are going to be a mystery, no matter what. Some will have their versions of it. I believe you maybe are here to unlock the corruption of your planet. But do you truly want to see how low these people can go? I think you already have an idea, but they can go lower than you thought. Or maybe some of you already know that. Yes, to the human trafficking energy, but even lower than that. How much did they sell their soul to get to those positions of power? Some of them, yeah, it's coming back to them, of course, but it's truly is like to get to those political positions that they did sometimes as easy as they do. What horrific things did they have to do to get there? And eventually, such like with the Obama family, that will start to unravel itself one day. You already see it somewhat with the Clintons, but I feel like the Obamas, they're going to have their day eventually. Of course, there's many others, but because America has its own technical royalty controlling reality currently, controlling your matrix actually. So it's like a power. It's one of the more powerful influencers. So it's controlling your reality current to a certain extent. So you're going into a time of yes, you want to heal this reality. You want this matrix to heal and go away. Well, you go to the superpower and release the control systems coming from it. Underground, above ground, anywhere. And then you'll start seeing the real deal in this world, even in your vision. Not necessarily physically, but you'll get a vision of it. For now. And then eventually the unlocking will continue. Where scandal after scandal and politicians, celebrities, they can't keep this hidden anymore. There will be a day for that someday. Blessings to you all.